they trailed half the season, 8 games last year. They trailed at halftime and ended up going 3-5 in those games. And we think about some of the prolific plays that Jordan Love had to make, but it was a necessity because they didn't get off the fast starts. That's a healthy mix of Jordan. That's a healthy mix of Jordan Love not only taking care of the football, but being able to be explosive downfield with these receivers that they'll have in tow. And obviously Josh Jacobs in the backfield being that battering ram and making explosive plays as well. But this team needs to start fast. And why wouldn't you? With acquiring Micah Parsons and Rashawn Gary, if you play with a lead, you are going to have a lot of really good Sundays in Green Bay.
Listing Micah Parsons as questionable for Sunday's game against the Lions due to his back injury. All right, and finally, we are divided on our picks. Those of us here in Bristol, holding down the fort here in Bristol, we're on the Lions, and y'all two at home are on the Packers, Swagoo.
Here's the thing about this, right? I don't know who the hell is going to win, Hannah. You know why? Because it's week 1. Yeah, and both of these teams are really good. And Micah Parsons could play 70 snaps. Micah Parsons could play 27 snaps. He could play no snaps. We don't know. So we just picking teams based on ghosts and the spirits of the Christmas past.
By the way, remember at the end of last season, Swagoo wasn't even picking scores?
Yeah. He was like, because they going to win.
Yeah, he'd be like, remember that? He'd be like, Green Bay by a lot.
Hey, tell you what, it's early. It's early. We'll get there at some point.
Lions have won 8 straight divisional games, longest active streak in history. We'll take the scores while we can get them, Swagoo. Coming up, the Texans and the Rams.
I also think it's likely that Herbert might actually run one in the end zone, so that would limit passing touchdown opportunities. I think they're going to give Omari and the Hampton the rock a great deal as well, especially when they get into the red area.
All right, Marcus. I mean,
Ryan.
RC.
I'm back.
Ryan.
Yes, ma'am.
Travis Kelsey. Back for another season. Over under 5.5 receptions for him.
You know what? I'm going to go over. And the reason I'm going over is because I believe they'll utilize him in short yardage. They'll utilize him on 3rd down. Now, he might not stretch the field. This might not be a game where Travis Kelsey has 80 yards receiving, but I do believe that they'll put the football in his hands and make sure he's involved in the offense to keep people underneath occupied, to hit Xavier Worthy and Hollywood Brown at the 2nd level.
All right, RC, let's stick with you, and let's talk a little the guy throwing in the football, Patrick Mahomes. What do you think? Over, under 244.5 passing yards for him?
Listen, I'm going over. Patrick Mahomes did not go to Brazil to not go to Brazil. And what I mean by that is he's there to make plays. You could see in the preseason there was an emphasis on pushing the football down the field. They scored 17 points on 3 drives against the Chicago Bears. And talking to Xavier Worthy, this team says they is tired of the disrespect, and we try to put everybody over Patrick Mahomes, and he's going to show us tonight that he's still a man.
All right. Going scorched earth there. I love it, RC. Okay. By the way, you put all this together, y'all's predictions, and a $10 bet wins you just over $55. Love it. Good luck, everybody. Right now, new customers for ESPN Bet can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 bet. Score more from the game with the Sportsbook for sports fans. Sign up with promo code LIVE to get started today. Now that we have some actual games to talk about again, we're going to turn to one of our favorite games, and that is Locks and Keys. We're going to break down Sunday's big games with something we guarantee will happen. That's a lock. Also something that will play a big role in determining the outcome. That's a key. And we're going to start in L.A. The Rams hosting the Texans on Sunday. Mina, give me a lock for this game.
I got Kobe Turner, the Rams defensive tackle, getting a sack. So the Texans changed their offensive line. I'm not sure it got better, though, particularly looking at the players that they added on the interior from Seattle and Minnesota. And Kobe Turner, for all the talk about Jared Verse, and he was incredible last year, Kobe Turner is like one of the most underrated defensive tackles in the NFL. He just gets to the quarterback, and I think he's going to have opportunities to do so in this one against this remade Texans offensive line.
Boy, let's hope that offensive line is better. Okay, RC, what do you think will be the key in this one?
Well, it's like me and Mina just had the same phone call. It's going to be protecting C.J. Stroud. Last year, we saw C.J. Stroud take a step back, but it wasn't wasn't because the youngster couldn't play or he didn't understand the offense. It's because he was constantly under siege. And when you play in a defensive line like the Los Angeles Rams that can absolutely get after the quarterback, it's going to be paramount to keep their third-year quarterback upright.
And once again, ladies and gentlemen, you can just get that gong out because for the picks, we are all on the Texans.
I'm actually shocked.
I'm surprised. I knew I was going to be.
I didn't think it was going to go this way.
I'm actually shocked. Yeah. And I have on Rams colors, and that is disrespectful of me.
I mean, I think that defense only holds them to 14 points. Yes, Swaggo.
Y'all know what I was thinking? I was thinking about Matthew Stafford and not getting a lot of reps this offseason. That played into my thought process.
And that's not play. And that's not play around. Like the Texans defense isn't overall better than the Rams are on the defensive side of the ball as well.
Yeah, Mina had him number 2. I listened to Mina. All right, now to Tampa Bay.
Defense gets after it.
The Bucs are looking for their 5th straight division title. How about that? They host the NFC South rival, the Falcons. RC, what is a lock to happen in this one?
For me, Bucky Irving getting 20 touches. Listen, I don't play fantasy football, but I often read the fantasy football app. And Bucky Irving was one of those players that was up there with the Saquons, up there with the Bijan Robinsons. We watched him ascend the entire end of the season last year. He was a guy who game after game got stronger, got more physical, made more big plays, and I think at the start of this season, he's going to be a priority and a focal point of the Tampa Bay offense.
So building upon last season. Okay, Marcus, what's the key in this NFC South matchup?
Well, speaking of Bucky Irvin, the value of the running back. Bijan Robinson better touch the ball early and often and help this offense. We know how dynamic he is out of the backfield, but he needs to be a big part of this pass game as well. I expect them, obviously, to feature him, but he can be the best friend of Michael Penix Jr., who is now the solidified starter in Atlanta.
Yep, making just his 4th NFL start. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is good news for the Falcons because we're all taking the Bucs.
You know why?
Mixtape bait.
Because this is all about what we think, because we don't really have like film to make these picks by. So this is about what we believe.
We have no idea. We literally have no idea. Don't listen to us.
That's how your voice get when your mama about to whoop you. Oh no.
Your mama be like, if you can say huh, you can hear.
Still to come. I'm going to steal that. The Chiefs and the Chargers meet tonight in Brazil, but with injuries on the O-line, how will Justin Herbert handle all that pressure? We are breaking it down right after this. NFL Live is presented by ESPN Bet, the sportsbook for sports fans.
Paradise doesn't always have